Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and welcome to Saturday Night Dies. You guys know me as Horror Bloody Horror. We're doing a completely new series, completely new channel. I'm pretty excited. I got some friends who are going to be involved with this series, and I'm so excited. At some point, you guys should have like four of us at once on one show. It's going to be pretty exciting. I do have one of my co hosts with me tonight. You guys know him as Michael Myers. And we're just going to kind of talk about horror and just kind of have a good time, just hang out. I'm super excited, and I just wanted to start something new. I needed to start something fresh because my channel, Horror Bloody Horror, I feel like has just like fallen off the deep end. It's hit rock bottom. The views are terrible. So I thought like getting on here and starting a new show with my friends and talking about horror with them and talking about really anything we want would be pretty exciting. So I'm pumped for this. I'm really pumped for this. It's just hard to get everybody on at once sometimes. I know everybody gets busy. We're all working jobs. We got life. Life gets in the way of a lot of things, and I get that, but I cannot wait until we have like a stacked what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't wait till all four of us are like on a show at once. But with that being said, I'm gonna bring the first guest on tonight, which is a co-host. Hopefully, this is something we can keep going every week. I'm pretty excited about it. So with that being said, let me add him in. That is the one and only Michael Myers. Yo, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, man. Thank you for
Bro,
having me on. Yeah, can't wait
yeah,
to
dude.
start from fresh.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm always looking to do some new, fresh stuff. You kind of do the same stuff on your channel over and over again. You're kind of like, I want to do something new. And I thought like starting a completely new channel would be super fun. So I'm definitely pumped. I
Yeah.
saw you were live earlier, bro. That was a good stream, dude.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of a spare of the moment. Went
right,
live.
right.
Since Saturday. Happy Saturday to
Yep.
everyone. Just chilling, man. Don't got
Heck
much
yeah, dude.
going on. So knock down a little live
Absolutely, bro.
earlier.
Yeah. Dude, and another thing I wanted to mention on here, because a lot of people obviously know me as Horror Bloody Horror, and we talked about this a little bit on your stream. I am planning on doing Horror Runs Red Part 2. Now, I know that some of the people watching this back probably don't know what that even is, just because this is a fresh channel. Maybe they just, came across this stream or whatever. But I will leave that linked in the description after we're done with the show. It is a horror fan documentary that basically stars me, Michael Myers, Slasher Movies 410, and that's been almost 3 years ago, dude. Like that's crazy.
Time flies, man. Yeah, I remember
It,
doing it. Like, feels more like, doesn't even feel like 3 years. Feels more like a year at least.
yeah, it's crazy. And then like ever since we finished that documentary, I wanted to do a part two so bad because part one was so good. Like everyone did so great on it, and it did good on views. I was like, man, I need to do a part two. Get some more people involved with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was I remember it being like kind of short, but it was short and sweet, especially for a
Yeah,
first time documentary. I think it really
right.
it did pretty good. I really like dug the concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, absolutely.
The
I
reception's
remember
been
how.
good, right?
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I remember how that like came to be, dude. I was like bored one day. I feel like this is usually how it happens. Like I was kind of bored one
Yeah.
day and I was like, "Man, what can I do that's like creative for the channel?" And I was like, "Wait, everybody goes out and they make fan films and short films, which are great. Like, the fans do good jobs with those. Like you've done great with the ones that you've done." And I'm like, dude, nobody's really done like a documentary style on YouTube before about horror fans. So when that came up, and then I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, like horror runs red because like horror is like in our blood. It's kind of like a meaning of like it's in our blood. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a cool idea, just throwing that out there and just coming up with something that nobody's really done.
Yeah, it's a unique title, and I
Yeah,
think especially people who I think are fans like me of like documentary kind of films, documentary
yeah,
projects. I think it was really like you could say relatable, and I think people really like got to see like from our point of view, people who might want to start YouTube but are kind of hesitant, We're not
Yeah.
the biggest channels out there, but hey man, it's all about the sport of it, the hobby of it. And
Yeah.
I think it did really good from that point of view.
No, I agree for sure. It's nice when you can like kind of like show your love for the franchise or for the genre, not the franchise. But it's
Yeah.
nice to be able to like express it. I mean, of course you can get on here and talk about it, but it's like, why not like make a documentary on like how we became horror fans? Because a lot of people they probably watch our channels and they're like, man, I love their content, but maybe they wanted to know like where that all started. And that's where I was like, dude, this documentary would be perfect to kind of give a backstory on all of us.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember when you came at us with the idea, and
Yeah,
from the gate, I was like, it's a great idea.
right. I
It
appreciate
really,
that.
yeah, man. And I know you also told us, right, about a second part, a follow up, and I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
can't
try
wait, man.
to.
I can't wait to what you got in store for us. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. In a couple days, I'm gonna start really working on it. I have like an intro shot for Horror Runs Red Part Two, but that's like all I've done. I'm trying to get, trying to figure out who I'm gonna get involved with it and stuff like that. So hopefully in the next couple days, the wheels start turning, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, do you plan on? I mean, of course, we don't want to give out any like spoilers or anything like that, but
Right,
I'm all in, man. Anything you need, man, consider it done for sure. Definitely was
dude.
a big fan of the first one, so hell
Right.
yeah.
No, I appreciate that, dude. And same with you, man. If you're working on like any short films or even just a video, man. If you're just like, hey, man, you want to just talk about this on a video, bro? Let me know. I'm down, dude.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Because usually, I go live randomly, and
Yeah.
sometimes it could be like dead, on the chat and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So,
Right.
I think once we like plan for a live, like today, or and stuff like that, I think it's better when it's
Yeah.
planned out, and when we
No,
like
I agree.
lab and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like
It's been long
tonight,
awaited, bro. Like it's been like how long has it been since last time we've been live? Probably like few years, man, if I'm not mistaken.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, because we did
The
a
last one
live
was I think we
stream.
talked about like the Chucky series, right? If I'm not
We did,
mistaken.
yeah. It was on
Yeah.
Slasher Movies channel. We talked about the Chucky series. So yeah, and
Yeah.
that even happened before Horror Runs Red came out, dude. So that's probably been 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I
man,
think
for
it
sure.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
We
It's
should
been
have
a
we
long
should have at least
time,
done
bro.
like a live as soon as it came out, we should have done like a live or something, to like
We
promote
should
it,
have,
get
dude.
people, the word out
Yeah.
there.
I was gonna say that's what's happening tonight. I kind of just I literally came up with this today. Like for those of you who are watching this back, I was like, dude, I want to get a series where I can get all of us together and talk about horror because like I can do the shows by myself, but after a while, like you kind of run out of things to talk about. When you're talking with someone, you're like bouncing back and forth with conversation, which is why I was like, man, if I could get all of us on a series and just have a channel based on us like talking, I was like, man, I got to do
Yeah.
something fresh. I was like, let's just make a channel called Saturday Night Dies. I thought that was kind of funny, kind of like a funny jab at like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd all come together and do this. And everybody who I've asked so far has been down with it, dude. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I hope that we can keep this up and make it like a weekly show, dude.
Hell yeah, man. I'm down for sure. I think it
Nice.
really especially, the weekend, Saturday, straight chilling, So I think
Right.
we could really make something out of it. Like you said, and I
Absolutely.
salute you, man. You be coming out with different stuff, man. You're doing your thing, you're grinding, you be doing like different kinds of projects, like you said.
Yeah.
This was like a spare of the moment for you, start a new
Really. Yeah.
channel. Great idea, man.
Yeah.
Just being creative, and I think that's what it's all about, man, when it comes to this YouTube thing. So salute
Yeah,
to you,
dude.
man.
No,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. Same to you, dude. The content that you put out is like amazing, dude. I love like I
Appreciate it.
think it's
Yeah.
great how like you just go live, man. I can't do that for some reason. Like tonight I could because I was like, yeah, I didn't hype this up, but at the same time it's like now we have a first episode. So now when I hype up the next
Yeah.
one or the channel, like they have some content to watch to kind of get a feel of what we're going to do on here. So, but when you go live, dude, I'm like, man, I just wish I could do that. I'm just like so bad at it. And like now that I have this show, I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to stay consistent on here because I have friends to talk to. And like I said
Yeah.
earlier, I love doing content by myself, but man, when you have friends to talk to, it makes the content so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, for sure. It just like the bond is there, the communication is there, and I
Yeah,
think that's what people gravitate towards.
yeah,
Uh, trying to make people relate to as a horror fan.
yeah,
And
definitely.
we got to give it to them, man. We got to give it to the audience.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
like
I
once we
felt
start promoting this on each of our pages, I think
yeah,
people will start tuning in to the new channel, man. And
yeah,
really, because even when I go live sometimes, dude, like I said, I do it randomly, and there's
yeah,
times like there's literally no one, and literally there
right.
like talking to myself. But I mean, it's all good, like sometimes it's I guess it depends, but hey, my main thing is like the interaction, with the
Yeah,
audience, with the fellow YouTubers. So hell yeah, man! I
right.
can't wait to see what this little this new series, this new channel is
Yeah,
gonna what it's gonna elevate to.
right. No,
Once
I
we get more
agree. And
people in here, I think it will be really more like a more of a like you said, you missing a few people, but once we get a few people in here, I think it will really
yeah.
start bubbling up.
Oh
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
dude, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because obviously I want to hype it up on all of our pages, like on Instagram. But there is, I just because I had a spare Instagram page, right? So I decided to turn that page strictly to Saturday Night Dies. So like if we clip something from a show, or I put a short out, or just an update about the show, I have a whole Instagram page for that, which is linked in the description now. So I thought it'd be good to have a page about strictly about this show.
hell yeah, man! And like you said, it's kind of like a jab at Saturday Night Live, and I just think it's clever, like people really would like based on the title, I think people would like tune in like what the heck, Saturday Night
Yeah.
Die, that sounds kind of familiar, so I think that's who really would like grab people's attention, you know what I mean?
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I'm gonna start pushing it like the next episode we do, which next week we'll do it. I'm gonna really start pushing it hard, bro. I'm gonna make sure that people
Yeah,
know that the next episode is coming. We'll come up with some sort of topic, I'm sure. But tonight I just wanted to kind of get on here and just chat, man. Just talk about horror and just get that first episode out there because I just want people to know what we're about. And so far I think people are kind of getting what we're about, man. So let's get into this, bro. What horror movies
yeah.
have you watched recently, man?
Recently, man, you know what, I've earlier I had a like Scream 4 playing in the background.
Oh,
uh
okay.
the typical movies usually. I like to watch films that I haven't seen before, or like new movies.
Yeah.
I like to watch them. Also, films that I watch for the first time, I like to sit down uh, and be quite focused. Like earlier, I was watching Screen 4 and stuff, but I
Yeah.
was cleaning around and stuff like that. But the last
Right.
time I actually sat there and watched the movie, I think it was during the week, man. I think it was like one day I got out of work. I actually
Mhm.
I popped in The Fly from what is it,
Oh,
19
okay.
the remake, 1980.
1986, I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, for
so.
sure. And with what's his name, Jeffrey
Jeff
Goldman,
Goldblum.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
David Cronenberg film. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, hell yeah, man. And
Yeah.
great remake. One of the best remakes.
Yeah.
And I've seen that one a nice handful of times. But to be honest, man, like as far as new movies, I really have
Yeah.
not seen them, man. I have not seen any. Usually I'm rewatching stuff. For like just to
Right.
spur the moment. Uh, but yeah, but like I was, talking about earlier, I definitely want to watch a lot of these newer releases. Like
Yeah.
Pride, They Will Kill You or something like that. I think
Yeah. I think it is called They Will Kill You. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of titles, but and I think I also saw like The Grudge, Part 2, like a few weeks
Oh,
back.
nice.
The American versions, of course, but
Yeah.
nothing in particular. I actually, came across like a few films like at my used DVD store that I haven't seen before,
Mhm.
but I'm still
Oh, nice.
waiting. Once I get the chance, man, to actually sit there and like watch it, because I could pop it
Yeah.
in, but if I got something going on, I'm not fully focused on the film, so I'd rather be focused on, especially a movie I have not seen before.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Like I said earlier, man, it's hard to find the time to watch movies really, especially if you're working, you
Yeah,
just got a lot going on. It's hard to make the time to do it. I try my best to do it, um, what I've watched recently that's new was The Bride. I know you mentioned earlier, on your stream as well that you wanted to see it. Honestly, The Bride was pretty good. I think it's a good modern take on like the whole Bride of Frankenstein story. I won't
Yeah.
give too much away, but the performances are great. Like it's funny because when I first went to the theater to see the movie and the movie started, as soon as the like opening scene happened, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this movie. Like it was kind of strange at first; it just felt off. But as the movie goes on, you're kind of like, okay, I'm digging this. It kind of has a what am I looking for? Kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde type story going on. And
Oh, okay.
what they do with the bride in this, which this isn't really like a huge spoiler, because I think it might have been like even in the trailer possibly. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's something that they do where the bride in this movie is actually hearing from Mary Shelley's ghost, who wrote the original Frankenstein, which I thought was like a really unique twist.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's like actually something like brand new, right? Like something
yeah,
fresh that hasn't like been done before, you know?
no, never. And what else have I watched recently? I seen the new 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple in January. That was pretty good. Have you seen 28 Years Later yet?
Yeah, I saw the first one, man, 28 years later, right? And then the second one that came out was Bone Temple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I saw
Bone
I saw
Temple.
the one 28 years later because, the previous two films, of course, are if you ask me, like they're like a staple when it comes to like zombie
Yeah,
films. So I was curious, man. I was definitely interested. So I went to go see it in the theater.
right.
Wasn't the biggest fan of it, to be honest with you guys. But I heard Bone Temple's way better. Like it blows it out of the
Hmm.
ballpark. You know, I gotta check it out. I
Yeah.
haven't seen Bone Temple yet. Yeah, they kind of
Did
at the
you?
end of 28 years later, they kind of teased the
Yeah.
characters, right? Like it kind of ended
That,
like in a cliffhanger, kind of.
yeah,
I
that's
re-
what I was gonna ask you. You know how like at the end you had that weird like group that shows up to save what was his name? The little boy in 28 Years Later. I can't remember his name. But you know
yeah,
that group that saves him like at the very end?
yeah, yeah,
That the Bone Temple picks up right where that left off because that character's name is Jimmy, like the guy that's in like the sweater vest thing or sweatshirt type tracksuit thing. His
yeah.
name's Jimmy, and the Bone Temple follows him and like his cult. And dude, I'm telling you, there like this movie goes off the rails, but in a good way. Like it's a very like following Jimmy, I think made a lot of people angry because I know a lot of people had issues with the ending of 28 Years Later. So, like, if you didn't like that ending, you're probably not going to like the Bone Temple. But for me, it was so out there and just weird that it worked so good. Like, I really love the character Jimmy. And the Bone Temple also has one of the coolest, like, heavy metal scenes in a horror movie ever. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin it. But it has something to do with Iron Maiden, and that scene is incredible, dude.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I gotta check it out, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
I've heard nothing but positive about it, so I definitely, gotta check it out. And heavy metal and like rock music is not really as present in horror movies. I mean, it's in there for
yeah,
sure, but it really isn't. Like I really dig movies when they add. I think it adds to the fuel. Kind of like
it
in the
does.
2000s, a lot of horror movies from the 2000s really when they would mix in like the metal and everything.
Yeah,
And if you say it's Iron Maiden in there, hey man, I definitely gotta check it out. Because
yeah,
that's classic stuff.
it is, dude. That scene was phenomenal. What else have I
So
watched
did you
recently?
like Bone Temple more than 28 Years Later?
Okay. I liked 28 Years Later a lot. I thought it was good, but I'm gonna say the Bone Temple's better. I think it's way more fun than the Danny Boyle 28 Years Later. I had a ton of fun with the Bone Temple, and Nia DaCosta directed the Bone Temple, which she also did the 2021 Candyman film. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
Yeah, the last
Yeah,
kind of yeah.
yeah, the newest Candyman. She's a good director, I think. I know some people didn't like that Candyman film either, but I think she's doing a good job. So far when it comes to horror, she's 2 for 2 for me. I like the Candyman film and I really enjoyed the Bone Temple.
Yeah, when it comes to 28 Years Later, do you think like it was good timing, or do you think it was like a little too like late? I mean, I wouldn't say late,
I
You
get
know, a
what
lot
you
of
mean.
sequels come years after, a lot of years after, but you know, if 28 years later would have came out a little sooner, closer to the previous two, uh,
Yeah,
do you think it would have been better, or do you think it was like
I
the
think
timing was good?
I think what Danny Boyle did with 28 Years Later was good, but I will say that I think if it came out closer to after the release of 28 Weeks Later, it probably would have been a lot better. I think that the story would have felt more smoother because it has been so long, which I think it's cool
Yeah,
when franchises come back and they make new films for them, but it's like when you wait so long, sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, in my opinion, a good example of that is the newest Beetlejuice movie. Like, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, it's not bad. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I was like, man, I don't know. This movie just doesn't sit well. Like, if they made that second Beetlejuice movie like right after the first one, like I think
yeah,
the first one came out in like 88 or something like that. Like if they made the second one in like 1990, I think it would have worked a lot better cuz that new Beetlejuice was like I enjoyed it at first, but the more that it sunk in, I was like, dude, I don't know. I'm not really vibing with the new Beetlejuice. I think that's a great example of them waiting way too long.
yeah, man. And you know, it goes back to the whole thing about leaving classic films alone. Like Beetlejuice was left alone for a
Yeah.
very long time, but since I think a lot of franchises, man, are really successful by making a comeback, I think
Yeah.
they went that route, you know. But
Mm,
yeah, it's definitely. I remember Beetlejuice, man. Like I seen the first one for sure, classic film. It's a fun movie. I have not seen
yeah.
the second one yet, but yeah, it was a big gap in between for sure. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Uh,
examples of movies like that. Yeah,
right. Yeah, there's a huge gap. I would say you're not missing too much with that with that new Beetlejuice movie for sure.
yeah,
Let's talk a little bit about this. I know we're probably going to do an episode on I don't know, maybe even on here we'll do one or on Slasher's channel, on your channel, I'm not sure, but I have seen Scream 7 recently.
yeah.
I talked about that a little bit over on my channel, Horror Bloody Horror. I think you've talked about it too, right? A little bit.
Yeah, I did do like a little
That's
like
what I
movie
thought.
review, just to like get my thoughts, you know, fresh out. Um,
Yeah.
because I was kind of like, you know, I know like you said earlier, like we all have like different schedules and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like once we do get together and do that live stream, man, that discussion, we could definitely, you know, discuss it in and out. But I just did a little movie
Yeah.
review, like what came straight, you know, pretty much straight from like the head, you know, what I could
Yeah.
think about at the moment. But I mean, it's definitely, you know, quite. I think it's worth a good discussion. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm. Yeah.
as soon as it came out, man, it really, you know, it had a lot of people talking. You know, it had a lot of
Yeah.
people mixed about it. You know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, overall, like, are you like I mean, of course, we're gonna get into it. You know, once we
Right.
dedicate the live stream, but were you at least, you know, satisfied? You know, in my opinion, it did the job of what a Scream movie is supposed to do. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I won't talk too deep into it either. Well, I mean, I've done a show on it, so you know if they've played that, they kind of know my thoughts on it. But I will say, you know, this is gonna sound weird. I won't get too deep into it since we'll save it for a show. Maybe we'll do it on here. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
as weird as this sounds, dude, um, I actually like that this Scream movie has divided fans. I know that sounds so weird, but like the Scream franchise is solid, man. I feel like personally, I'll say this. I won't get too deep into it, but I will say this: Scream 7 to me was not terrible, but it was weak. I'll say that. I'll just say that. But I love that this one because usually when a Scream movie comes out, I feel like everyone's just like, "Man, Scream was awesome. I love this movie." Of course, you always have the haters, but for the majority of people, everyone's like, "Man, it was so good. I love this and that." This was the first time a Scream movie has divided the fans, and for some reason, there's something cool about that. Like I love seeing the fans that love Scream 7. Then I love hearing people's side of the story of like why they hate it. I don't know why I like that so much because this Scream movie, I didn't hate it. I just didn't. But
It's not
I
good.
love
It's not a
hearing
bad
both
movie.
sides of the story.
Yeah.
It's so
And like you
cool,
said,
man.
since it divided the fans, it kind of, you know, I know, like you said, as soon as a new Scream movie comes out,
Yeah.
the ride or die fans are always there. even with like 5 and 6, people were
Mhm.
disappointed, but they were still there. But I think
Yeah,
this was like the first Scream that really, like you said, divided the fans, and I was kind of surprised because
yeah.
I really thought it was gonna be better than the previous two, but
No, I
unfortunately it
agree.
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah. I will say, I mean, I've said this on on my podcast, which I'll just say that Scream 7 to me is my least favorite in the entire franchise. Um,
yeah,
Sidney Prescott coming back didn't save it for me. Um, I think that we need to go away from that. I think Scream 6 proved that we don't need Sydney in these movies. Just like we were kind of talking about earlier when you were live, how Halloween doesn't need Jamie Lee Curtis.
yeah, for sure. Even though I feel like I think they could do it without Sydney, like you said, Scream
Yeah,
6 proved that, but
yeah,
when it comes to the Halloween situation, yeah, I think maybe Nev Campbell, maybe there's a few more in for her, but like you said, man,
yeah,
I think it gets to the point where it's repetitive, and
yeah,
no one's gonna take away that legacy status, that Scream Queen
yeah,
status.
yeah,
So I think they should just leave it as is, wrap up her story, and
yeah.
get move on to the next thing, man.
Dude, this when I left Scream
But she was
7,
great for sure.
oh yeah, she was awesome. When I left Scream 7, actually even before Scream 7 came out, I was like, man, Sidney Prescott honestly is probably my favorite final girl of all time. For the
Yeah,
longest time, it was Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. But I was like, dude, like Laurie Strode outside of the new trilogy and outside of like H2O, like Laurie Strode in those first two films, like literally just survived. She just ran and survived. Sidney Prescott was always a fighter. And to me,
yeah,
that was like the definition of a final girl, is like somebody who could really, she can hold her own. And I was thinking this like before Scream 7 came out and when I left the theater, I was like, how much longer can Scream last though? Like, how many times can Sidney Prescott survive? Like, at some point, you're gonna run out of luck, and one of these Ghostface are gonna get you. Like, you're gonna die at some point. How many people hate this lady, man?
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
it gets repetitive, and I think that's when people kind of, like I said, regardless, the fans, ride or die, are always gonna be there. But I think,
yeah,
like to the common audience, I think it's better to introduce, new fans, so they won't get bored of the same, repetitive stuff. I know they
yeah,
also like introduce like Sydney has a daughter now, which pretty much means that daughter character will be, you could say, the future
yeah,
face of the franchise, which I hope, man, with you know future installments they improve her character, man. Because yeah,
yeah,
I really wasn't a big fan of her character. It just, and I know they focus more on Sydney, of course. It
yeah.
wasn't really. It was more her movie than the daughter. But I hope, man, they really step up. They step it up with her as far as character development, because she was just
Mm,
kind of like plain. Like, I don't know.
yeah. No, I actually agree. I kind of I feel like they should have done more with her character, but at the same time, I'm actually kind of glad that they didn't make her just like a copy and paste Sydney Prescott. I'm kind of glad that she isn't just her mom. I think it's cool how like she wasn't just tough right away, but I will say, when they continue her story in Scream 8, because I mean, we're going to get a Scream 8. When they
Yeah,
continue her story, I'm hoping in 8 she's tougher though. She's been through what she's been through in 7. Make her tougher in 8, because if they don't, then that character is just awful. Like they got to improve that character and
yeah.
have her evolve into this like really awesome, strong woman, just like her mom at some point. But I like how she's just. I don't know. They could have done a lot more with her in 7, but I'm just hoping that they do more with her in 8. Because if not, then that character is just pointless and is going to be a flop.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, yeah, I could see them improving with that character. Like I said,
Yeah.
this was their introduction, so
Mm.
once the movies go on, they eventually, I hope she turns out a kick ass woman like her mom
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
hope so, man. So let's get into something else. We were talking a little bit about Halloween. Do you still think that we're going to get the Halloween TV series? I know that was the last thing because I think the last thing I heard that they were gonna make a Halloween television series. So I don't know. I haven't heard any updates since like last year. So do you think we're still gonna get that?
You know what? I could see a Halloween series in development. Down
Hmm.
the line for sure.
Yeah,
I think the franchise has gotten to a point where, like, where else can you really go other than like a remake, a fresh start?
yeah,
But I could see them. I could see them doing it. Like I said, since now we're getting more shows. I think the other day, man, I'm not sure if it's like speculation or official, but
mm,
like on Instagram or something, I don't really read deep into details, but I guess they're developing a Hellraiser TV show or something like that.
oh
So
yeah, I saw that.
yeah, so for sure, man, I think Halloween, and I think it could work, dude, if they're really, focused and they really know what they want to achieve. When it comes to this franchise, I think a
Mm,
series, it will be cool. I'm not the biggest fan of horror series. I mean, there's a few good ones, Bates Motel, uh,
yeah,
a few, but I think the Crystal Lake show, man, would really prove to us all or to everyone, that
mm,
it could possibly work. But I really do see it. I don't know, for some reason, something's telling me, yeah, we're gonna see a show, Halloween show,
yeah.
sometime in the future.
Dude, I would like to see a Halloween TV series. I mean, I would much rather us just get another movie because I feel like Michael should just always be on the big screen. But I'm open to a television series if they do something right. They have to do something fresh. I feel like. I mean, as we said, get away from Laurie Strode, do something fresh. But I also had the idea, which I wanted to throw this at you because I mentioned this to another friend. What if like the show, like each episode was because you know how the Halloween franchise just jumps timelines basically? Like there's all kinds of different timelines in the Halloween franchise. What if like they made a show where each episode took place in a different timeline? Like what if they had one where there's an episode that takes place after Halloween 2, so it was like our Halloween 3 with Michael Myers, or one that takes place after Halloween 4 and then, Jamie Lloyd comes back as like an adult and they're just like jumping timelines each episode, or doing one where like what happened after Michael, left in Halloween 6 after the whole Cult of Thorn thing? Like what happened after that? Because we jumped to H2O, which is almost like it retcons all the films but Halloween 1 and 2. Like what if we just each episode takes place, or an episode with Dr. Loomis and Michael in the sanatorium? Like what if we just jump around at things like that?
I think uh I think a TV show would be great for that,
Yeah.
especially for Halloween. There's like
Mhm.
different kinds of timelines, right? And
Yeah.
I think it's too soon for them to like do something like a fresh new timeline. So I think that'll be, fill in the they should go fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff they could come out with, like you said, maybe continue with Daniel Harris character,
Yeah.
Jamie Lloyd character, see
Yeah.
her as a grown up. Uh, of course she ended up dying in 6, but maybe, uh,
Mhm.
uh, uh, go back, between like
Yeah.
5 and 6,
Yeah.
explain a lot of that cult stuff, because I think the whole curse and the cult stuff, from 6, the thorn,
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
quite confusing, and for a lot of
Yeah.
people, it was for me at one point, and
Right.
really kind of, close it up, and
Mhm.
go back and fill in the gaps. I think that'll be better, rather than do like a something fresh, you know, uh,
Yeah.
remake or whatever, because it
Yeah.
will at least still take place in the same world, in the same timeline, and
Right.
that timeline, it's iconic.
Mhm.
Sometimes even the filmmakers, they want to keep continuing. It's hard to detach from, the timeline, the films we grew up
Yeah.
loving. So yeah, it's a great idea. I would love to see that. Maybe get
Yeah.
more of Rachel. I really was quite a fan
Oh
of the
yeah.
Rachel character. I think
Yeah.
they got a potential, dude. There's definitely potential, but I think a movie, uh, but like I said, I think it would work better as a TV show, since TV shows
Right.
are more spread out, they're more, in depth. So hell
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to see that. That's a
I
good
would too.
idea.
you could tell way more story with a TV show. You can stretch things out. And like this franchise is not afraid of jumping timelines. You know, it's done it with the film. So like a
Yeah,
show like that, it's almost like an anthology show with Halloween. You're just jumping different places and like you're making the fans happy again. If you jump back into the world of I don't know, Halloween 6, like imagine an episode of a Halloween TV show where we go back to Halloween 6 and you see that Halloween 6 mask used again for the show. Like fans would lose it, dude.
hell yeah, man. Especially that
Yeah.
H6 mask really
Yeah.
is really a standout. I just really love it, dude. It has like that
Yeah.
kind of goblin kind of look to it. Yeah, man, for
Right.
sure. People would love that shit. I think that's what
Oh
people really
yeah.
want. The fans, they would
No,
really
I
like
agree.
go. They would go all out for it. Maybe
Yeah.
add some Loomis, Dr. Loomis backstory or something like that. Because that
Mm.
Loomis character, man, even though, of course, rest in peace, Don Pleasance,
Yeah.
one of those roles, man, that you can't really touch. But I think
Yeah.
they could still do it. They could still add some more, as far as a TV show, add some more Loomis in there because I
Yeah.
think the Myers, story and the Loomis really like them together were always like interesting. At least in the
Yeah.
first six films. They really
Mhm.
even though in towards the last few of Donald Pleasance movies, he kind of like was he was kind of off the edge a little bit, but
Yeah, like
like I said, man,
off his rocker.
it's the iconic status that is always
Yeah.
there, man. So hell yeah, man. I really I really at the same time I want to say I hope we get a show. But
Yeah.
like you said, man, I think Myers is meant for the big screen for sure,
No,
you know?
I agree. But if they did go that route with the show, I mean, I think Halloween Kills proved that that could work. Like, look at the flashback scene in Kills. Like, if you did an episode that
Yeah,
was taking us back to 78, they can make that happen. Kills proved that. You know, so any timeline they choose, if they choose to go back to Halloween 4 or even do something with Halloween 3, I mean, they can make that happen. Like, I'd be interested to see I don't know, do an episode of the show where they show us what happens after the events of Halloween 3, you know, where Tom Atkins is like, stop it, stop it. Like, what happens? Do the
yeah,
kids live? Do they die? Some people may not want to know the answer to that. But I mean, if they did an episode on it, I'd be interested in seeing what happens or just something that takes place even before Dr. Chalice. Like, it goes deeper into the masks and the whole witch thing. I mean, they can do a lot with the show, honestly.
yeah, dude. If you ask me, we need a lot more of that Silver Shamrock,
I
you know,
wish, man.
timeline concept because, dude,
Yeah.
I really dig it. Actually, you know what? I did watch Halloween 3, dude, a few weeks back. It was like
Oh,
on
yeah.
TV. And I feel like the more I watch it, the more that time goes on, the more I really dig it, dude, because it really, yeah.
Right.
And that was, John Carpenter's original vision. So,
Mhm.
they don't necessarily have to like explain. I know John Carpenter isn't too crazy like on explanations, for
Yeah.
example, like the thing and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Uh, but yeah, dude, I would love to see more of that Silver Shamrock concept, man,
Yeah.
because it really, I think it was way ahead of its time.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
yeah. For sure. You know, you look back on it, and of course, you know, the film pretty much bombed when it came out. You know, people were expecting Michael Myers, and some people still hate Halloween 3 just because it doesn't have Michael Myers. But like, it was definitely way ahead of its time because look at the love that Halloween 3 gets now. I mean, Halloween 3 is like beloved by almost every horror fan now. And there was a point in time where that movie was just bashed, like people hated it, and now people really love it. So I think if they go back and give us some more story from that world, I think people would be a fan of it. I wouldn't even be mad if they made a Halloween series and did John Carpenter's original idea and just make every story different each episode that takes place on Halloween. But they're not going to do that because, you know, Michael Myers is the face of Halloween. So if they did
yeah,
that, it probably wouldn't do well. But I would be interested in seeing just different stories from that take place on the holiday, you know?
yeah, man. I agree for sure. Because since that was Carpenter's original vision, uh,
Yeah.
without Carpenter, we wouldn't have Halloween. We wouldn't have
Right.
Myers. Maybe crossed, even though Halloween 3 does pretty much take place in the same timeline as
Mhm.
Halloween 78 and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
hey man, definitely tie those knots a little bit more, cross them over a little
Mm.
bit more. And I
Yeah.
think you got like one thing I did like about, I think it was 2018. I think even Kills, they had like some of the kids wearing those, masks, the Silver Shamrock
Yeah.
mask. I think it's a nice nod to
Yeah.
that film. Like you said, with time, there's more love to H3, man. And yeah, there was a
Yeah.
point where people would crap on it, would, you know, really give it no chance. And I think
Yeah.
only time stood for a movie like that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
films like that. People, you could say, stand the test of time. People really catch on to that cult following.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly, man. And dude, I think the whole TV show thing really started with like cuz like everything's getting a TV show now. You know, the Halloween one is
Yeah,
potentially happening. We're supposed to be getting Hellraiser. We're getting Crystal Lake. I think they're even doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre show cuz I think the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre went to A24. So I think
yeah,
they're also doing that. So like everything's getting a show now. And I think that really started with It Welcome to Derry. Because when that show
yeah,
came out, dude, like it just blew up. Like people loved it. And I watched a majority of that show and it's not bad. But I'm like, man, literally every big horror property is getting a television series now. So it's almost like, are these big horror properties, horror characters that we know and love just going to the small screen now? It just kind of feels weird. We're living in a time where it's almost like television series are bigger than films. It's just kind of weird.
yeah, man, for sure. And you bring up Welcome to Derry, man. Yeah, that show really did it resonated well with the
Yeah.
audience, man. I mean, even Chucky,
Yeah.
one of the most iconic horror characters. That series, that TV series they came out with, sci-fi or whatever, it
Yeah.
really, didn't have people talking like that. Welcome to
Yeah.
Derry show. I have not seen it yet, but I heard some positive about it, man. And it's a
Yeah.
prequel, right? It's like kind of like a
Yeah.
backstory,
Yeah,
Pennywise.
it's a prequel. It gives more of a backstory of Pennywise and takes place like well before It Chapter One. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's definitely a prequel. It's pretty good. Like I don't think it's amazing. I mean, of course that's my opinion. Like I think it's good, but I don't think it's like as good as those movies that we got.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Especially
dude.
the first the 2017
Yeah,
remake, dude. I remember
yeah,
when that came out, man. I
yeah.
really
Me
wasn't like
too.
a big fan of it, but
Yeah.
I rewatched it throughout time, and yeah, dude, it really there's some good shit in there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of like dark stuff. I really dig about it. Hell yeah, I think Bill
Right.
Skarsgård really plays a great Pennywise, creepy ass
He
Pennywise.
does. He does, man. He's good in
Especially
the
the first
show as
one.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially in that first one. Yeah, man. So since we're on the topic of shows, and I talked about this a little bit too on your stream earlier, are
yeah.
you excited for Crystal Lake, man?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, anything, even when Sweet Revenge came out, which we really shouldn't talk about. It's a waste of.
yeah, it was
Uh,
bad.
I just, dude, I just literally been excited for anything Friday the 13th, man.
Yeah, it's about time, man.
Yeah, man, and I really can't wait to see. Like, of course, all of us, we're looking forward to Jason, without a
Yeah,
doubt. We can't wait to see Jason do his thing. The new Jason. I hope he gets replaced. Uh, but man, I'm really looking forward to Pamela's
yeah,
take. Since it's gonna be a prequel, I can't wait to see what they do with that. Pamela character, man, and really take it back to that. You could say old school kind of you know, camp 80s vibe,
mm,
70s. Since
yeah,
it's a prequel, we're gonna go more back in time. And
yeah,
I believe we had like a few first looks, like a few shots, and it
yeah,
really reminded me like about that you could say that time era. People wearing
yeah,
like Converse. You
yeah.
know,
The
uh,
old cars and stuff. I think they showed like the old police car and everything.
yeah, man, yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
those BTS photos, man, that
yeah,
were like floating online, and I have hope for it. Like I really don't.
yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of shows. Of course, movies always better, but for some
yeah,
reason, man, I kind of have hope for the Crystal Lake series.
yeah,
Uh,
man. Me
I mean,
too. Like,
if it's nothing great, uh, I wouldn't be surprised,
Yeah.
But I'm just I'm just waiting for something fresh, man.
Right.
Something Friday related, and
Yeah.
to me it's cool if they kick it off with Pamela.
Right. For me, it's like, like I said, it's about time, man. We're getting something to do with Friday the 13th, you know? I'm like super excited for the show. I've been saying for a long time, I would love to see more of the Pamela character. She's so iconic for that first movie. And just getting more of a backstory and a prequel to the first film, I think is such a cool idea. My question is, I wonder, like, I think that the show, no, like, we got Sweet Revenge last year, which, like you said, we shouldn't even be talking about it because it was terrible. Um,
Yeah,
but like
they
the
took it off.
show,
They took it off YouTube, right?
yeah, it's gone, which is weird that they just took it down. Like it's like, why would you put all that work into a short film and you just you just take it off YouTube? I was like, what the heck? I mean, I
Especially
guess
them teaming up with a company like what was it, Angry
Angry
Orchard?
Orchard, yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was kind of
so
strange.
weird. Yeah, it's I guess they just got so much hate on it that they were like, we might as well just take it down, I guess. But the whole
Yeah,
Jason universe thing, man, I just think it's super like gimmicky. I think it's terrible. But the new show, I have a lot of faith in it because A24 is behind it. And I know that might seem kind of weird because A24 is known as like this classy, horror company. They do a lot of classy stuff, also a lot of weird stuff. So like how is that gonna work for Friday the 13th? But from the images that we've seen so far, man, it's really taken me back. Like some of those images is like, dude, this feels almost like the original Friday the 13th. And I know they didn't show us a ton of stuff. I think there's a picture of like, Pamela holding the knife like by a tree or something, and you see like her sleeve. They show like
yeah,
a dock, like, and they show like a couple of dead counselors, like their legs or whatever. But either way, I'm like, dude, this is Friday the 13th. Like, I think the show's going to surprise people. I think a lot of people have their doubts because of A24 doing it. Because I mean, let's be honest, Friday the 13th is just like a campy slasher franchise, and
yeah,
A24 does like these really high class type of films and stuff. But man, I think they're going to knock this out of the park. And you got to think too. I mean, A24 probably knows that, like, man, people's been wanting Friday content for so long. It's like we have to make this good. And probably seeing the backlash that Sweet Revenge, probably like, yeah, we got to kick it into gear and make the fans impressed for sure. So I actually have faith in the show. Um,
yeah. Me
I'm
too, man.
interested in seeing what they do. I know that we're supposed to see more of Kid Jason as well in this. I think they even mentioned, I don't know how this is going to work if it's a prequel series, but I think they mentioned that they could use adult Jason. I think I read that on Bloody Disgusting that they could actually use adult Jason. I don't know if they will, but dude,
Yeah,
I'm super interested in the show.
because aren't they also supposedly also working on a new
Yeah,
Friday movie at the
I
same time?
think the Jason universe is making one. Last that I heard, it was going to be the Jason universe, and I think they're also making another game, which I think is kind of random.
Yeah, man. They got. I mean, ever since last year was what, like the 45th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Uh,
45. Yep.
and since the rights and all that got secured, we've been getting a lot more Friday the 13th stuff, man. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, a new game. We're getting a lot
Mhm.
more figures, a lot more merchandise. So that's a
Yeah.
good sign. Maybe this Crystal Lake series would focus on Pamela, and
Yeah.
maybe that will snowball into adult Jason in the movie. Who
Yeah.
knows? Because, like you said,
Maybe.
it gets confusing, right, with the rights. I guess
Yeah.
uh, sometimes you know, like the Friday the 13th is a whole different license than the Jason character.
Yeah.
So
It's
hopefully,
weird.
man, down the line we get a good comeback for Jason, at least in the movie,
Yeah.
because yeah, the show I could see it taking place with a young Jason and stuff like that. I mean, even throughout the show, man, I could see like an adult Jason doing his thing, but I don't think that would be the center focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it might travel back and forth.
Right. You know what's random is like the Jason Universe thing. I feel like kind of just popped out of nowhere. Like who owns like the Jason Universe? Is it like Sean Cunningham? Is it Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller? Like I always get that confused because I know those guys are always like battling over money, but like who actually runs the
Yeah.
Jason Universe?
Who knows, man? I mean, I don't know if that was like their like settlement, because they would
Maybe.
be going back and forth in court for the
Yeah.
rights and all this crap. Who knows if that was like their final settlement? But like you said, man, something about it, it just feels like too like cartoonish, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the mask, the logo. I mean, it's a cool rebranding.
Yeah.
If they don't necessarily want to like name it Friday the 13th. It's a cool, even the whole word universe. It just
Yeah.
something about it doesn't sit well.
Yeah, it's like the MCU or something. It feels weird. Like, what does that even mean? Jason Universe? Like, what's the universe? Like, I'm confused, you know?
I know, right? It's like it just really like seems so, I don't know, man. It just doesn't really like sit well. And after
No.
seeing Revenge, dude, after getting a taste of that, it kind of proves to us that they're just even like you said, even though Friday is supposed to be campy and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I don't know. I guess we just gonna have to wait and see, man. But that mask,
Alright.
dude, horrendous. I can't.
Dude, it's so bad. I feel like honestly, the Jason universe is just a cash grab, dude. Like
Yeah,
it's there's no purpose to it. Like it came out of nowhere. They made the Sweet Revenge short film. They were selling the mask. I think even at Spirit Halloween last year, they were selling the mask at some of the
yeah,
stores, and it's like, and they were making. I think they were supposed to make a Jason Universe figure or something. Greg Nicotero made the design of Jason. Who let him do that? Because I'm pretty sure that KMB worked on Halloween 5, and he made the mask for Halloween 5, and we all know how bad that is. Who is letting him make Jason? Like, what are we doing?
yeah, for sure, man. I mean, who
Yeah,
knows? Like, if it really is Sean Cunningham behind Jason Universe.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, I think that explains it all because, like you said about it being a cash grab. Because Sean
yeah.
Cunningham, I think, has always been about the money.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, Sean Cunningham has said, um, I don't know if you know who Adam Marcus is. He directed Jason Goes to Hell,
Yeah,
and I guess
he like
he
grew up
used to
with
be like,
Sean Cunningham, right? Yeah,
yeah, he used to be like super close to Sean Cunningham, and I guess basically the whole story behind Jason Goes to Hell. The reason I'm saying this is because there was a new Jason Goes to Hell documentary that was released recently. I haven't seen it. I've just seen interviews with Adam Marcus talking
Heart of
about it.
Darkness, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
I can't wait
and
to see that.
basically in that he goes into basically Sean Cunningham hates Jason with the hockey mask. Like his main thing that he told Adam Marcus was you got to get rid of the hockey mask. Like we're 9 films in. Why are we getting rid of the hockey mask? That's the face of the franchise, you know? And
Yeah,
for Sean, it's just all about the money. And he always wants to be in control. Basically, the way Adam Marcus talked is that Sean Cunningham isn't necessarily like the greatest guy, you know?
yeah. I've seen a lot of like interviews of
Mhm.
Adam Marcus, kind of like
Yeah,
discuss it, and even I believe he said even dating back to like part three, dude, when they gave Jason the iconic hockey mask. Like
yeah,
even at that time, Sean Cunningham thought that was like the dumbest idea ever.
yeah.
But I mean, you fast forward years later, man, it's one of the most iconic masks in the horror genre.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's just like it. And I believe Sean Cunningham, he would be like he would at the same time, of course, Friday's like his biggest thing, right? But I guess he was
Yeah.
trying to be like more of a family friendly movie director or something like that.
Yeah, his whole career is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure Sean Cunningham has some like non-horror films, like outside of
Yeah,
Friday the 13th and stuff, and he also did things like House. I don't know if you've seen House, but
I've
he did
heard of
that
it.
film.
Yeah,
It's pretty good, but it's more of like a horror comedy. It's more like on the family friendly side than like Friday the 13th. Sean Cunningham definitely like with everything he does is literally just about the money. And I'm gonna have to do some more research on that after we finish this show. If he's running
didn't
the
Sean
Jason universe.
Cunningham do Last House on the Left with Wes Craven or something like that?
I think that he produced Last House on the Left, I think.
Oh, okay,
Or
yeah,
he definitely had something to do with it.
it was
But I
mostly Wes
think
Craven though. Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely mostly Wes Craven, but I think Sean Cunningham had something to do with he had some sort of involvement with Last House on the Left. He may have came up with the tagline because I think the tagline on the poster is like, "Keep telling yourself it's only a movie" or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had some sort of involvement, but I do remember hearing that. But I think he does run Jason Universe, man. Because if you think about it, like everything that they just threw out at us, man, they're like the mask came out, the figure they were going to make, which I don't even know if they made it. It's like, dude, all of this stuff is just a cash grab because they know, like, come on, let's be honest, like us Friday fans, like we'll buy almost anything. I didn't buy anything Jason Universe, but come on, a lot of people like they would buy it just because it's Jason. So it's really a smart move. Like Sean Cunningham is smart when it comes to marketing and like making money because he knows that people's going to buy it regardless.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. And I think they're gonna be coming out with more of like the NECA Jasons, like
Yeah.
the part 8, part 9. But I
Yep.
think those will be released under Friday
The
the 13th,
game.
the game. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really thought that was quite interesting because
It
I think
is.
the game really opened a brand new fan base for sure to the
Mhm.
franchise because
Oh
like I said,
yeah.
prior to the game, it was dead, there really wasn't much.
Yeah.
And once the game came out, I feel like it introduced, a new fan base, a new audience. And I think to this day, the Friday the 13th, the game has I always hear it every once in a while. I always hear about it here
Mhm.
and there. And I think with the new game, man, if they are doing a new game, I think it would really, I think it would work well, because heck, I
Yeah.
remember when it first came out, man. I remember having
It,
fun with that game for sure.
it was huge, man. It was a big deal.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. The
It was
Savini
fun.
Jason as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why they don't. Like, why make a new Friday game? Like, why can't they just resurrect the other game that's already been made? Like, I don't know why they're wanting to make another game. But like you said, like these new figures that are coming out, like the part 8 and part 9, it's like it's under the Friday the 13th game like property. It's not even just under those movies, which is kind of weird. But I will say one
yeah,
thing, man, those figures look great, man. NECA does a great job on those figures. I really want that part
sure.
8, dude.
Yeah, dude. That part 8 looks badass, dude. You could just
Yeah,
tell
it
it's gonna
does.
be like a nice, I wouldn't say heavy figure, but it's gonna be like it just seems so badass, dude. Will you be getting those?
I'm planning on. I would like to get them both, but if I have to get one, I'm going to get the part 8 for sure. I wanted a Jason Takes Manhattan figure. It's funny because like I know Jason Takes Manhattan is not like a good movie, but I've always had fun
Yeah,
with it. I always thought it was super fun, and that look of Jason is like awesome. I always have liked that look of Jason. So that I'm at least going to get that one. But man, that part 9 looks so good too, though.
yeah, man, for sure. I'm more of a Jason Goes to Hell guy, but
Yeah,
dude, when according to the pictures, you know how like Trick or Treat Studios, or not Trick or Treat Studios, NECA, they have like
yeah,
their convention where they preview their upcoming stuff. Like
right, yeah.
based on a close up look at it, dude, that part 8 looks
It looks
way
clean,
better.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't wait to
dude.
get my hands on it. I don't know
Aren't
if it has to do with rights issues, that they couldn't,
yeah,
come out under their title. Like it would have been cool because the NECA boxes, dude, they're badass. They're
yeah,
collectible as well. They're great display. I would love to have
yeah.
like the part 8. That part
Like
8
the
poster is
movie
badass.
poster. Yeah, it's clean, dude. It's awesome. Bro, aren't they also doing Savini Jason?
Yeah, I think that's like the
That
third
looked
one they're
cool
coming
too.
out with.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
really a big fan of it, but
oh yeah.
I mean it's still cool because that was like an original design for the game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Tom Savini did it, and I think like his idea was that's what Jason would have looked like after Jason Goes to Hell or something. Like that's
Yeah,
actually Jason in hell or something. I think that's the concept he was going for, which I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, at least you know the game was trying to have some sort of like something new for Jason. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. I think it's a decent look, but I don't think I would want to see it in like a film or anything. But for the game, I think it's kind of a cool idea.
yeah, man. You know what? At the time, since we were never used to horror video games, I remember
Mm,
thinking at the time that was like the dopest shit ever, man. You could
yeah,
play every Jason from each movie. I thought that was really sick.
right.
Other than, I think they were only missing like the Jason X one and the Freddy versus
Yeah,
Jason and the remake. But that was
yeah,
always so sick to me that you could play as any
yeah.
Jason from any movie,
Right.
And if
And
they do something like that with the Halloween game, even though
I
it
was
looks
about to
like
say that.
it's gonna be based more on the '78 film from what it looks
Yeah.
like. But yeah, man, that would be cool. That would be really badass.
Dude, I was gonna say that. Like, I almost feel like they have to, like, because I'm kind of afraid. Like, the company that's doing the new Halloween game, did the Friday the 13th game. They
Right.
did Predator Hunting Grounds, I think, stuff like that. And I think they might have did the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. I think they did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. What scares me though is like those games. I feel like they die off so fast, which kind of scares me. But with
Why do you think that is?
Halloween, I don't know. I think that actually what I think is when you play those, because those games are like strictly online. I know that the new Halloween game, there's going to be like a story mode. I think
Yeah.
I think it's repetitive and people just get sick of playing them. They don't do a ton of updates for them. I feel like with Halloween, because I know they're adding a story mode, which is going to help. But with Halloween, they're going to have to add different Michael Myers to keep people intrigued. And like, they need to make where you can play on different maps, like kind of do like a DBD situation. Have it where you're in on the streets of Haddonfield. Michael, take us to the hospital. Do stuff like that. Take us to, the place at the end of Halloween 6. Like, take us different places. They're going to have to do changes to the game because if they keep it just strictly like one location and you can only play as one Michael, people get sick of it. They got to shake it up a little bit. And I feel like that's why the Jason game worked better than like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Because when the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game came out, it was hot there for a while, and then like less than a year, dude, it was dead. You would get on there to try to play it, and like nobody was playing. Like you just couldn't get into a game. So they're gonna have to really keep up with this Halloween game. So I feel like at some point they're gonna have it to where you can play as every version of Michael Myers, different. Like that's the only way they're gonna keep that game alive, dude. Or it's just gonna die like the other ones.
Yeah, man. I hope so, and I hope they don't drop the ball,
Yeah,
especially a iconic, title like Halloween. Man, they,
yeah,
we had plenty of games prior to this, man, that really
yeah,
showed them that it went nowhere. Killer
yeah.
Clowns, Evil Dead, all that.
Yep.
So I think if they're smart and they're about moving forward, I think they should have more in store for us, and I hope
Yeah.
once we get closer to the release, we get more updates. We are more familiar with what they got in store for us. But I'm really excited what they got in store for us as far as story mode, uh,
Yeah.
because I think that's what really you could say, other than the playing online, it really keeps the gamer intrigued,
Yeah.
like
That
campaign and stuff like that.
I actually think that's like the main attraction to the new Halloween game because I as soon as they announced that that was coming out, people were like, "This game's just gonna die, just like all the others." But then they announced that there was going to be a story mode, and I think that has a lot of people excited. I think they announced yesterday that you can actually play as Doctor Loomis in the game, which
Yeah.
that's a big announcement. That's going to help people buy the game as well. I mean, because people were asking that, people were like, "Man, are you going to be able to play as Doctor Loomis?" And it looks like you're going to be able to, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, man, and also the Hellraiser game, dude. It really
Oh
looks
yeah,
like Hellraiser, the concept, all these twists and turns. So I think
yeah,
that has a lot of potential for a game as well, man, for sure.
yeah.
You know?
I'm excited for that. I'm probably going to get that game actually. I saw like the trailer for it. It looks good, man. A Hellraiser game sounds super. And that game, I don't. That game's basically going off of story mode. Like that's just a straight up like campaign game. I think there might be an online, but this isn't like a Friday the 13th chainsaw situation. This is straight up like a story game, like right out of the get go.
Yeah, man, for sure. And
Yeah,
it really has, based on that little trailer we got, it has everything what it has everything what a Hellraiser movie is supposed to have. The
yeah,
X-rated content, the
right,
goriness. I
yeah,
definitely can't wait, man. I think that Hellraiser has a lot of potential, as well as
right.
Halloween.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just like you said. I hope they put the ball on the Halloween game because man, it literally has potential to be one of the biggest horror games of all time.
Yeah, man, for sure. Especially it being Michael Myers Halloween, the face
Yeah,
of the slashers. It really, they can't they can't miss this opportunity, man. They definitely, if
Right.
they're gonna go in, might as well go all out, you know,
Right.
and
No,
not
exactly.
half-ass it like a lot of the games. But hell yeah, man. And you know me, I'm not the biggest gamer, but for sure, man,
Right.
when those come out, I'm gonna be all up in it. You know, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
playing it out. You know.
That's like me, dude. I don't play as many games as I used to, but like when games like that come out, yeah, I'm all in for it. I would actually play the new Resident Evil game. It actually looks pretty good, but like, man, when I do play games, it's usually horror games. I'm not like when I was a teen, like I used to just play all kinds of games, man. That's like all I was doing, but I don't do that anymore, man. It's got to be something really good. And with that Halloween game, there's no doubt I'm going to be playing it.
Yeah, man. Just like when Friday came out,
Yeah.
we spent a nice amount of time playing that
Oh
because it was
yeah,
like
ton of time.
fresh. You know, it was
Yeah.
something we've never seen before. Like it
Right.
was like a a horror fans dream come true. You know.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think I know how we should end this show. I was gonna ask you if there was a horror piece in your collection that you've gotten recently that you could show off here tonight. If you have anything that you've gotten recently.
Like my latest piece I've acquired.
Yeah, just a mask, a figure, anything that you've gotten recently.
Mm, you know what, man? I actually haven't gotten much as of lately.
Yeah.
Like recently, uh, usually I'd be trying to, make like little display pieces from what I have. Here, I could show you this. I've been having this for a while. Uh, Now I know when it comes to Chucky,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
hardcore fans are gonna have different kinds of dolls. I've never
Yeah.
been crazy on like collecting different Chucky dolls. Like I have one, right, the Trick or Treat
Right.
Studios one, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. But I got this like a few months back, dude, and I had to have it because it's a sideshow. I don't know if you heard of sideshow collectibles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something about it, dude, like the retro look. Uh, it's like this plush version.
Oh, nice. I've seen those before. Yeah, those are actually super cool, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they have like this is like the plush version. The body is plush, and then
Yeah.
there's the other one which is like of course,
Like a
all plastic.
plastic body? Yeah.
And the thing about this one, man, it really like it has like the blue eyes and stuff like that.
That's actually cool.
It's not the
That's actually
typical.
super cool.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, it's not like the typical good guy look.
Yeah.
So it's like that evil Chucky face. So it reminded me
Right.
of a
Dude,
doll
that's
from
awesome.
the original. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I really like that. That's actually sick, dude. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Dude, what
Thank
I
you, man.
have to show, I kind of have a funny story, dude. So,
Yeah, hit us
uh,
with it.
the theater near me only has three screens. It's like a local theater. It's not like an AMC. It's not like a Cinemark or a Regal. It's just a local theater. It has three screens. And, Scream 7 had three or four different popcorn buckets, like something crazy like that.
Yeah,
And I really wanted one. I was bummed out because my theater here didn't get any Scream 7 popcorn buckets.
dude, they were really
So,
tempting for sure.
yeah. So I got on, don't do this. So I got on Walmart.com because there's also scam sellers on Walmart,
Yeah,
and I got on there and I ordered me a Scream 7 popcorn bucket, which I just got it in today. And so here's the bucket. I don't know if you've seen these or not,
yeah, for sure.
but here's the bucket. But it's fun because you can tell this. So let me just say this. This came from China. And this is almost like a bootleg version of the bucket, right? Which it still looks pretty good, but this is definitely not like a legit bucket. And I should have known better
Yeah,
because I actually got a good deal. Usually, when you're buying stuff online, if it's like too good to be true, it's usually too good to be true.
yeah,
So I got this one, and I was like, it's not bad. Like I know it's not a legit one, but it looks like it, and it looks good. And the top comes off for popcorn, and then yeah, this just completely off. and like on the bottom you can like almost tell like where they made it. It's like super weird. So I gotta glue this back on, but I wanted a bucket so bad that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna order it and just like see how it is, like how the actual product is. And honestly, like it's not bad for a bootleg, but like, dude, it's like came in broke. It's like I'm gonna have to glue it and everything, but man, dude, I wanted one
Yeah.
so bad that I was like, I'll just see what happens. And yeah, that
You know what,
usually if
man?
you're
I
getting
say what?
what
Sorry.
usually when you get them from like China or something like that, dude, you know that it's like not gonna be good, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, like too good to be true. I figured,
Yeah,
man, the popcorn buckets like became really popular, and I feel like
yeah,
especially like big theaters like Regal, AMC, uh,
yeah,
they become a hit. Not just horror. Any release they do
yeah.
popcorn buckets and all this
Everything
merchandise, and I think they're mostly like I think people buy them more as a collectible than the
for
popcorn
sure.
bucket. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
it
There was
really
one popcorn bucket that came out for Scream 7 where like you basically can't even get your hand in it. It's like, well,
yeah.
how's that a popcorn bucket if you can't get your hand in there to even get the popcorn, you know? You can easily like reach your hand in it to get like, popcorn and stuff. But there was one they made where like there's no way you're getting your hand in that unless you're like 2 years old, you know?
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, it's a good marketing strategy. I
Oh
really
yeah.
wanted to get the one with the. I don't know if you've seen the one in the doorway. Comes with like a
Yeah.
door. I
Yeah,
really
he's
wanted
like
to
got
get
the
that one.
knife and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, for sure.
they were all really good popcorn buckets, but like I said, I had to take a gamble on that one and just order it and like see how it was. Like for a bootleg, like it literally doesn't look bad, you know?
Yeah,
I just have to glue the actual like it even has the I don't know if you can see that, like, do you like scary movies on the back? So it's
yeah,
like a
yeah,
legit well, like it's based off of the legit bucket, but you could just tell it's a bootleg. But I'll glue it and then it should look pretty good because obviously I'm not gonna use it to like put popcorn in. I just got it as like a display piece, but I guess I kinda
yeah.
learned my
They
lesson
do
on it.
great as the display pieces, like on your shelf. They really
Yeah,
like stand out. I know they had like a Saw Billy one when Saw X came
yeah.
out, a Chucky one.
Chucky, yeah.
Yeah, man, a lot
I
of
think they
people
had
really,
Pennywise.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I've
dude.
seen a lot of the people like started like growing out their like popcorn bucket collection. Like I said,
Yeah,
man, they were kind of tempting, but you know,
right.
uh, I don't know. I just rather kind of save up. Like I said, great display
Yeah.
pieces,
Oh
but
yeah.
they're really tempting for sure. I know. Also, it depends the theater too. Like some theaters don't have
Yeah.
it. Uh, I was
Right.
lucky enough to get a poster, man, for Scream 7, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
For me, dude, it was a thing that I was like, I'm just gonna order one and just see how it is. But I mean, I like it. It's just funny how like you could tell it's from China. It's just a bootleg one. I have a couple of real popcorn buckets. Like I got the Conjuring 4 one with like Annabelle holding the actual bucket. And I got
oh
the
yeah,
bucket for the monkey where it has a little arms and everything. I don't know if you've seen the monkey, but I got
the
those.
movie
Those are
one. I was
legit.
really looking forward to it. Yeah, is that's
Yeah.
Stephen King, right? If I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
yeah, it's based off of a Stephen King short story by Osgood Perkins.
Yeah, man, that's one I wanted to check out. Definitely, I've seen it
Yeah,
on like Blu-ray, like at Walmart when I go.
yeah.
Definitely got to get that one. Do you recommend that one?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's a lot of fun. I actually think that Osgood Perkins is like one of the best modern day horror directors. Like he did Longlegs, he did The
Yeah,
Monkey, he did Keeper, Gretel and Hansel, like The Blackcoat's Daughter. He's done a lot of great films. I think he's up there with like Ty West. I think Ty West is. I don't know if you've seen like X and Pearl.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
A24,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those
Like,
guys to me are like top. Jordan Peele, I think Jordan Peele's up there, even though he only has 3 movies, which I think he's supposed to be making another one at some point. But those guys are top tier right now for horror, in my opinion.
yeah, man, for sure. Especially like modern horror
Yeah,
directors and stuff like that. They really like
yeah,
they stood their ground and made an impact.
yeah, yeah,
Regardless how you might feel about the movie, but they've definitely built their name, and you know, they they got a lot more in store. About.
oh yeah, definitely, man. But with
I was
that
gonna
being
ask
said,
you. I was gonna ask you. Do you still like? Are you still like collecting like masks and stuff like that, or are you more of a like a physical media collector?
I
I know you have a few masks, like Trick or Treat Studios masks in your
oh
collection.
yeah, I have let's see, one, two, three, four, five. I have 9 Trick or Treat Studios masks. I still collect them here and there. I haven't gotten a mask in a long time, so I guess recently I've been more of just a physical media collector. Like
Yeah,
I'll show you something I got recently, actually from Hey, I wanted this set when I was like 9 years old. I saw this at FYE, but I didn't have the money to get it. And it's this Halloween 30th anniversary commemorative set. I don't know if you've ever seen this with the little rubber mask in there.
yeah, brings a
Um,
lot of memories. Yeah,
yeah, I just got this recently, man, because I wanted this so bad when it came out. But like I said, we didn't have the money to get it. And finding one of these in good shape is like kind of hard. I wouldn't say that getting a set is like super hard, but getting one that's in great shape is. And this one's in pretty good shape. It does have a little latex rot on the nose. I don't know if you can see that. But finding this one in such good shape like literally blew my mind, dude. I got this back in January, I think. And I wanted it for so freaking long, dude. Like, and this has like you get Halloween 1 on Blu-ray, you get it on DVD, you get the extended cut, which is basically the TV cut, of Terror documentary, and Halloween 4 and 5. Like to me, like old
wow.
school, like Anchor Bay, dude, is like the coolest. Was like the coolest company releasing any type of films, dude. Because like you will never see a set like this again. Like there's a lot of boutique labels out there that I don't know. They'll make pretty good like chunky boxes and stuff. Like I have this Vinegar Syndrome, a Blade in the Dark set, which is
Yeah,
also pretty cool. Like it slips like this, and then the movie's like in here. So they still do cool stuff like that. But like you gotta think, man, this thing was like on the shelves in 2008. Like you could go to a retail store and find this. Like now we just get like
yeah,
standard Blu-rays and 4Ks. But dude, this to me is still like the best Halloween set that's out there by far.
yeah, man. That definitely brings a lot of memories. I remember like seeing one of those like in Kmart back in the day, dude. Kmart had a lot
Yeah,
of cool shit like that. Their physical
yeah,
media section was always like great, you know.
right.
Unfortunately, it closed down. But
Yeah,
Kmart was great, dude. It was kind of overpriced. I remember it being kind of overpriced, but uh,
yeah,
it was a great place for like physical media during
yeah,
Halloween time. Yeah, man, that's really a great display piece right there, man. Like especially
yeah,
with the
dude.
mask, it really like I said, it brings back a lot of memories, especially like late 2000s.
Yeah,
It came out, yeah,
yeah. 2008 it came out.
yeah, man, and you know, like you said, they don't really make stuff like that no more. You know,
No,
I think they also had like a Friday Blu-ray or like some kind of Friday the 13th release, man. I'm not sure if it was like the first movie or the whole collection, but it came with like a hockey mask.
oh yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about. I think it
I
came with
remember
the
seeing that
first
like at Best
8.
Buy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it came with the first 8 movies. I remember that. Yeah, because like the mask itself was like actually like you could wear it, but it was actually like super small.
yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
child size or something like that. Yeah, man.
yeah,
I remember
dude.
seeing that at Best Buy, dude. Like it was really like it felt great, dude. Like walking into like retail stores, like going down the aisle.
Yeah,
Now you really don't see like much, you know. There's some WalMarts that
no,
really rarely carry anything, you know.
right. It's sad, man. I hate that. Like, I don't want to say that physical media is dying because if you go like online, you can go on all kinds of websites and they're still putting releases out like Arrow Video, Scream Factory, like all of those companies are still putting stuff out. But going to a retail store, man, Walmart is like the last. Well, maybe Targets as well, but like Walmart is almost like the last big store that's selling movies, and even their movie is like super small now.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or they have their latest releases and they take a while, man, for them to you know, because I'm really looking forward to like buying some of the, you know, latest releases, but I usually
yeah,
like to wait till the prices drop a little bit, you know.
right.
Like the
No, I
last one I
get you for
bought was
sure.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake. I actually like paid full
Right.
price for that because I really dug
Did
that
you?
remake. What did you think about the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake?
Dude, you know what's funny? I just watched it when that Blu-ray came out because I have the Blu-ray here. Actually, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually got the Blu-ray, right when it came out because I didn't get to see this. This came out. When did this come out? Wasn't it last year in like what was it, December?
back in December. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see it because, like I said, my theater here is so small, so they didn't get this in. So when it came out on Blu-ray, I just got it because I heard so many people saying like how good it was, and of
yeah.
course it stars Rohan Campbell, who plays Corey from Halloween Ends, which I actually think is a good actor. I actually really enjoy him. Like even as Corey, I'm not a big fan of the character, but he does a good job. Like he's a good actor. And
He's a good
honestly,
actor.
dude,
Yeah,
this remake was solid, bro. I like how
yeah.
it feels like a Silent Night Deadly, but it's its own thing also. It's not just a straight up copy and paste remake. Like this is also its own Silent Night Deadly Night movie. It goes in a different direction than what the original did. Of course the original is still better, but that's a
Yeah.
solid remake, man.
Yeah, man. Like I was really surprised, dude. Like I really thought I was gonna be disappointed, But
Yeah.
like you said, man, that Corey, I forget his name, Rohan. He's a
Yeah,
good actor.
Rohan Campbell. Yeah.
He carried it pretty good,
I
even
agree.
though, it really like there's some moments in there that, didn't really like the whole, like towards the end when like I guess like the evil spirits go into like the girlfriend or
The
whatever.
girl, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really care for that, but overall, dude, it
Yeah.
was solid. I remember giving it like a seven
Dude.
out of ten, dude. Like it really,
Yeah.
especially since the Silent Night, Deadly Night series is not like especially the sequels are not
Yeah,
that great. But
right.
it was a nice modern take, and I
I
figured
agree.
it introduced like it made people wanna, you know, travel back and check out the that original if they haven't seen it.
Yeah, for sure,
But
man.
it was solid,
I
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think it was super solid, man. I he was also in Rohan Campbell was also in The Monkey that we were mentioning earlier, that Osgood Perkins film. He's in that as well, and he is actually hilarious in that movie.
Oh, really? Is he like a
Yeah.
main character or like a side character?
I would say he's more of a side character, but he has a pretty decent like role in it, if that makes sense. Like he's not like a main character, but he plays an important part in a certain scene, which I won't say too much about that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely check it out, man. But yeah, Rohan Campbell, man, like Halloween Ends sucks, dude, but he's a good actor, man. I definitely think everyone should keep their eye out for him because he's going to be in a lot of great things coming in the future, I'm sure.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, even since Halloween ends, I think he
Yeah,
was
he's
one of the
done a
better
lot.
parts of it.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. We got
Even though we have him wrestling with Michael and stuff like that in the tunnel.
it's
But
so
other than that,
bad.
dude, yeah, it was, he like I said, he carried it on pretty good. Like if they would have introduced that Corey character, like in
Yeah,
Kills or something, it would have been more appreciated, uh,
yeah, it would have made more
especially the
sense
character.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, because for them to introduce a new character, like when you're wrapping up your trilogy, like not the greatest
yeah, just
idea, but
yeah.
it's still like I said, he was one of the better things about Halloween ends and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sure, man. We got I the gamer in here. He says I haven't seen either of these things. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Uh, I the gamer. He's a upcoming horror fan for sure. We've been talking about some horror movies here and there, but definitely check out some of that we talk about for sure. I actually think we're gonna wrap it up here soon, bro. This has been a great first show, dude.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like
It's
time
been
flew
awesome.
like nothing.
Dude, seriously. And then, like I said, next week we'll do another episode. We'll probably have some sort of topic. We'll figure that out. Hopefully, we'll have everyone on, dude. It'd be cool to have like four of us in here. Like, that would make for such an epic conversation, dude.
Yeah, man. I think it will really start bubbling up. You know what? I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
also get. I definitely gonna holler at a Machete Slasher, man. It's been a while since
Dude,
I've seen what's up with him. So let's see if he will be down to join us, man.
dude, you
Because I've done
should.
I've done streams with him as well, and we also
Yeah,
always have a good time chopping it up. We definitely got to get him
right.
on here, man.
Dude, me and him, we did streams on my channel and his channel, dude. That's been years ago now, but dude, Machete Slasher's cool, bro. We got to see if we can get him on. Dude, 5 of us in here, that would be crazy, man. I would love to have like a packed house for an episode because with all
Yeah,
of us
man.
talking, dude, we could talk for so long. I mean, me and you have gone for an hour and 25 minutes, dude. So imagine when there's like 4 or 5 of us in here.
Yeah, man. Just going back and forth. Have
Yeah,
people
dude.
on the chat, and especially if, let's say, one episode we dedicate ourselves to like a certain topic,
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
people would jump in a little bit more,
Oh,
and
yeah.
get different
Well,
points of views. It's always great.
yeah, we'll do something like the next episode. We'll definitely have a topic like this one. I felt like, man, let's just talk about horror and kind of catch up a little bit, which was a great episode for sure. I'm gonna share it around now. People can kind of get a taste of what this show's about. So hopefully, on the
Yeah,
upcoming episodes, we'll start hyping them up like crazy. Like I'll talk to everyone. We'll talk to everyone and try to figure out what they want to do for the next episode, and we'll just start hyping it up like crazy. If we could keep it up, man, and shows every Saturday night, man, I think this show can be pretty big, dude. I think people would really enjoy this because this is the kind of content that I watch. I enjoy people going live and just kind of like doing a podcast style, man. I think I watch a ton of channels like that. And especially, when we're talking about a genre like horror, there is so much we could do, man.
yeah, man. Watch alongs, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah. Dude, I'm pumped.
Some
Seriously
ranking.
pumped. Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
We
And
we can have some pretty big shows, man.
yeah, man. Only time will tell. Of course, I'm gonna be uh promoting it, be sharing it through my channel, get people on
Right.
board, man. And I think it would really like you said, maybe leave it up to the audience what they would like to see.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. We could do
hype them
polls. We
up.
could do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man. Maybe like I said, rankings. Different kind of shit, man. I think we could really, pull it off, man. It's a great start,
Yeah.
great first episode. So I think
Oh yeah.
it really has potential, dude. I think this little, new podcast or new, channel definitely
Yeah.
has potential, man. And it's all about growing. It's all about growing,
Oh yeah.
and you know, soon as time. And I think once we set, like you said, a Saturday, do it every Saturday. Once we have like a
Yeah.
set day, it's like a for sure thing. It's like people are looking
Right.
forward to it, not just like going live randomly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll be good. I think I'll be straight for Saturdays, man. Usually Saturdays I have the day off.
Nice.
If I don't got nothing going on, probably do a few stuff here and there. But I'm pretty much make my way back here, to the house and
Right.
just chill, man.
Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm pumped, man. Like I said, I think it has a lot of potential. Like, if there's some episodes where like somebody can't hop on, it's not a big deal. But we'll do our best to
For
try
sure.
to get like everybody on, next week and stuff. But like tonight, there's a couple of other people that want to be involved with the show that couldn't make it tonight, which is fine. But I
Yeah,
think I think if we keep this up weekly, bro, I think it's gonna do really good. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. As you said, great first episode. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate
yeah,
you
man.
being a part of the series, dude.
Thank you for
Um,
having me, man. Had a great time,
yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah, and for everyone else who's going to be joining in the future, I'm already thanking you because, dude, I'm pumped for the show. I needed it, man. I dropped a podcast yesterday on my channel, and like, dude, it
Yeah,
just bombed. Like, no, it didn't really do a lot on views or anything, and I was like, man, that kind of sucks. And I was like, I need to just reinvent myself, start a whole new channel, get my friends together, and let's talk about horror like that, man. I feel like I do better when I'm like having a conversation with people. So yeah, dude, I really appreciate you being on the show. Hopefully, I'll see you here next week, but hopefully we see more people in the chat next week too. Shout out to I the Gamer for being in here. He said amazing first episode. Thank you so much. If you guys are watching this back as a video, definitely like and subscribe. We're going to try to stay consistent for sure. And with that being said, we are out of here.